Shannon Beador kicks off the RHOC reunion dragging toxic Tamra judge. Shannon Beador didn't come to play at the Real Housewives of Orange County reunion, and Tamra judge found that out the hard way. Viewers will see an epic confrontation between the duo when the episode airs, but the teaser gives us something to hold us over. Tamra was in for quite a surprise when host Andy Cohen asked the women to share their intentions for the reunion before kicking things into gear. The outspoken housewife expressed her desire to reconcile with her former friend, despite criticizing her throughout the season. Shannon was not on the same page, expressing her desire to sever ties with Tamra and their toxic friendship. The 60-year-old also debunked claims that they were very close before the DUI, noting that they never got their friendship back on track when Tamra returned to the franchise. Tamra judge tries to broker peace with Shannon Beador at the RHOC reunion. Part 1 of the RHOC reunion is upon us, and a teaser for what's to come shows the inevitable face-off between Shannon and Tamra. Before the show officially started, host Andy Cohen asked the women to share their intentions for the day. Tamra's response was interesting, given her harsh treatment of Shannon throughout season 18. "I want to talk about why I was hurt by what went down, and hope that we can get to a common ground," she shared. The 57-year-old reasoned that while they don't have to be best friends, "I don't want it to be uncomfortable, and I don't want it to be toxic." Shannon hits back at toxic Tamra and denies claims they had a close friendship, while Tamra was willing to broker peace at the reunion. Shannon was ready for war and dragged her former friend for her behavior. "The way I was treated by you this season is unacceptable," exclaimed the RHOC star. "You attack me, and I really don't have an interest in being friends with you." Shannon also threw shade at Tamra after she revealed she was in therapy to discover the reasons behind her anger. "What I'm doing in my therapy, I'm creating healthy boundaries, and a healthy boundary is not being in a toxic relationship," said Shannon. When Tamra questioned if their entire friendship was toxic, Shannon responded, "Absolutely," and slammed claims that they had a tight-knit relationship. "When you came back on the show, we never got to the point of friendship that we were before," she confessed. "You can keep exaggerating on how close and how often we spend time together, because we weren't that close." The Real Housewives of Orange County reunion was always a stage for drama, but this season was on another level. As the cameras panned across the glossy, oversized reunion couches, fans braced themselves. The lights dimmed, the set gleamed, and there, sitting on the end with a stone-cold expression, was Shannon Beador. Her usual spark was replaced with a fierce determination, and her gaze locked onto Tamra judge as if daring her to say a word. She was ready. From the moment host Andy Cohen introduced them, tension crackled through the air like an electric storm. Shannon leaned back, her posture exuding confidence. But beneath that calm exterior, a whirlwind of emotions brewed. She was over it, over the lies, the whispers, the stabs in the back. And today, she'd make sure Tamra judge felt the full force of her frustration. "So, Shannon," Andy began, glancing down at his notes, "it seems like a lot of this season's drama involved you and Tamra." Before he could finish, Shannon straightened up, her eyes blazing. "You know, Andy, I didn't come here to make friends. I came to share my truth. And right now, my truth is that Tamra judge is the most toxic person on this stage." Tamra blinked, clearly thrown off by the sudden ambush. "Excuse me," she scoffed, narrowing her eyes at Shannon. "Toxic? You want to talk about toxic, Shannon? Look in the mirror." But Shannon was unmoved. "I have looked in the mirror, Tamra, and what I see is someone who has owned up to her mistakes. Can you say the same?" The other housewives shifted uncomfortably on the couch. Heather Dubrow, ever the diplomat, let out a quiet, "Oh boy," under her breath, already sensing this confrontation was going nowhere good. Emily and Gina exchanged glances, barely able to contain their shock, or maybe their glee, that Shannon had finally found the nerve to confront Tamra. After all, this was a battle long in the making. "Shannon, you've been slinging accusations all season," Tamra shot back, her voice rising. "You're the one who's been stirring up drama and then acting like you're the victim." Shannon's face reddened, but she held her ground. "You know what, Tamra? I used to think we were friends, real friends, but I've finally woken up. Friends don't spread rumors. Friends don't betray you the moment you have a problem. And friends don't tear each other down for sport. She gestured sharply toward Tamra, her finger slicing the air. Every time I was vulnerable, you were there, waiting to turn it into a weapon. Andy jumped in, trying to mediate. So, Shannon, do you feel Tamra's been unsupportive this season? Unsupportive is an understatement, Shannon replied, her tone icy. Tamra thrives on bringing people down so she can stay on top. She's created this persona, this toxic vortex that sucks people in. And I fell for it. Tamra rolled her eyes, but Shannon wasn't backing down. Do you even realize, Tamra, the impact your words have? You get up on your high horse and start preaching about loyalty and friendship. But when it comes down to it, you're nowhere to be found. You talk about accountability, yet I'm the one who has to deal with your wreckage. A flash of hurt passed over Tamra's face, but she quickly masked it with a smirk. Oh please, Shannon. You want to act like you're the innocent one here. But everyone knows that you've been talking about all of us behind our backs. Don't sit there and act like you're some sort of saint. Shannon threw her hands up in frustration. Talking about people? Tamra, that's your M.O. You create chaos wherever you go. If it's not with me, it's with Emily or Gina or even Heather. You can't seem to stand it when someone else gets a shred of attention without you being involved. Shannon's words cut through the air, each one laced with years of pent-up anger. The room fell silent for a beat. Even Andy seemed to take a breath before moving forward. So, Shannon, he began carefully, are you saying you're done with this friendship? Shannon didn't hesitate. Yes, Andy, I am. I'm done with the fake apologies, the drama, the gossip. I came here hoping to confront Tamra, to maybe even find closure. But right now, I just want to move on with people who are genuine. The weight of her words settled over the set, and for a moment, even Tamra seemed speechless. But, in true Tamra style, she wasn't ready to let Shannon have the last word. Shannon, you're rewriting history as always. You act like I'm the only one responsible for everything that went wrong. But you've played your part too. Don't forget that. Shannon shook her head. The difference is, I own it. And you just deflect. Tamra's face tightened, but she didn't respond. There was a new tension in her eyes, a slight wavering in her steely expression. For a second, it almost looked like regret, but then she glanced away, hiding any softness that might have broken through her defenses. After what felt like an eternity, Andy broke the silence, moving the conversation forward, but it was clear that the entire mood had shifted. Shannon's words had left a mark, one that wouldn't fade quickly. As the reunion went on, Tamra threw in her usual jabs, but there was an edge missing, a bite that had dulled under the weight of Shannon's words. For the first time in a long time, it seemed like Shannon had truly stood her ground, choosing her own peace over the endless cycle of toxic friendship. And as the housewives left the stage at the end of the night, Shannon walked out with her head held high, a sense of relief washing over her. She knew the fallout would be messy, knew there would be whispers and headlines dissecting every look, every word, but she didn't care. Because for once, she had walked away on her own terms.